What happens when a man tries to save a pregnant lioness from a giant python, but instead of gratitude, he faces threats from his own kind? You won't believe how the wild pack responds to this, and who ultimately comes to his defense. You ever get up at dawn, haul 30 pounds of water through dust that could peel paint off a car and think, yeah, this is totally worth it? No? Well, that's how my morning started. Not because I'm some saint. I just figured if no one else was going to carry water to the dried-up animal pond, I might as well. My name's Kevin McGraw. I'm not a ranger, not a vet, just a guy who got tired of watching animals drop dead while folks sipped lattes and argued about hashtags. So here I was, in the middle of rural Kenya, dragging my half-busted boots through sand so hot it could fry eggs, with nothing but a rusty canister, a dull knife, and a questionable sense of judgment. And let me tell you, that judgment failed spectacularly around 9:27 a.m. I had just reached the clearing. I was sweating like a busted pipe, but proud. Then I heard it. This deep, rasping noise. Not quite a growl, not quite a hiss. Just wrong. I dropped the canister. Didn't even notice it roll away. There, in the middle of the grass, was something I hoped to never see again. A giant python, thicker than my thigh and longer than my truck back home. And wrapped in its coils, a pregnant lioness. Yeah, you heard that right. A lioness. Her belly was massive, her breathing shallow. And that monster of a snake was tightening its grip like it was wringing out laundry. Now, logic screamed, "Walk away, Kevin! Walk away. This is nature. Let nature do its horrifying thing." But I didn't. I picked up a rock, a good one, the kind that makes a satisfying thud, and I ran straight into the mess. Stupid? Sure. But I couldn't watch that lioness suffocate while her unborn cubs died inside her. I hurled the rock, full swing, into the python's side. It thrashed, snapping its head toward me. That was the first time I realized just how big its eyes were, big enough to fit my entire regret inside them. She gasped, the lioness, just a puff of air. I took my chance, jumped on the snake like a man with a death wish, and pulled out my old hunting knife. Not gonna lie, it wasn't some hero move. It was desperate, sweaty flailing. I slashed, missed, slashed again, hit spine. The thing convulsed. I got whipped off, slammed into a tree, but somehow it let go. The lioness rolled free, choking, coughing, legs kicking like she didn't know what world she was in anymore. And then, because the universe has a twisted sense of humor, I heard roaring, plural. I turned around. Out of the bush came two fully grown lions, muscles like tanks, eyes locked on me. Now look, you've probably never tried explaining yourself to wild lions. Let me tell you, it's not easy. I stood there, hands up, heart doing jumping jacks. "I just saved her," I whispered. "I didn't touch her. I swear one of them walked up to me, real slow, close enough that I could see the scar above his nose. His breath was hot. His expression, let's just say he wasn't handing out medals." Then the unthinkable happened. He turned and sat down, right next to me. No growl, no claw swipe, just sat. The other one sniffed the lioness, gently nudged her back onto her feet. And together, like a scene from a documentary no one would believe, they left, just like that. And I stood there, blood on my shirt, hands shaking, trying to understand what kind of morning I just had. What happened next changed everything. You don't want to miss how this unfolds. Stay for Chapter 2. Things are about to explode. You'd think saving a pregnant lioness from a python the size of a canoe would earn you some applause. Maybe a cold drink, a handshake. Heck, I'd have settled for a thumbs up. But no. By the time I dragged myself back toward the ranger outpost, dizzy from heat and sore in places I didn't even know had nerves, I found trouble waiting with its arms crossed. 3 men, locals, all in battered hats and suspicious glares, The tallest one, Otieno, was holding a wooden staff like he was itching to turn it into a baseball bat. "You were out by the river this morning," he said. Not a question, a fact. I nodded, still catching my breath. "Water drop. Saw a python attacking a lioness. Acted fast. Saved her." Silence. Then laughter, but not the funny kind. The kind that carries a blade in it. "You saved a lion?" Otieno stepped forward. "One of the same lions that killed 3 of our goats last week? You saved her?" Right. There it was. These weren't just angry neighbors. These were men who saw predators as threats, not wildlife. And in their world, saving a lioness, especially one about to pop out more little killers, was basically sabotage. "Maybe next time, let the snake do its job," muttered another man. I was too tired to argue, but not too tired to care. She was dying. What was I supposed to do, watch? "You think you're helping, Kevin?" Otieno said, voice tightening. "But all you do is make things worse. For us. For our families. You bring lions closer to people. You protect killers." It stung. Worse than the bruises on my back. Because I got it. I really did. These guys weren't cartoon villains. They were trying to protect their herds, their kids. Problem was, they saw the whole animal kingdom as a threat, and anyone who defended it as the enemy. "I'll handle it," I said. "I'll talk to the team. We'll reinforce the fencing. We'll set up motion sensors. Otieno cut me off. "You talk too much. That lion comes back, we kill her. Cubs, too." And just like that, they walked off, dust rising behind their boots, like they hadn't just threatened to wipe out an entire bloodline. I stood there a minute, heart pounding, not from fear, from fury. Because this wasn't just about one lioness anymore. This was a system that punished life for trying to survive. A system that turned good intentions into loaded weapons. I knew what came next. I had to find that lioness, fast, not to pet her, not to film her, to make sure she stayed out of range of rifles and poisoned meat. Only problem? The savannah's a big place, and a lion who just escaped death wasn't exactly going to send me a thank you card with her location. So I packed supplies, grabbed a drone, and set off into the bush, alone. No backup, no guarantees. Just one stubborn man and a very narrow shot at stopping something awful. This is the turning point. Everything you've been waiting for? It's coming now. Stick around to see how it all explodes in Chapter 3, and trust me, you'll want to see who walks away. You ever walk through dry savanna, heat bouncing off the ground like it's trying to roast your kneecaps, with one goal in mind? Finding a lion before some angry farmer turns her into a cautionary tale? Yeah, that was my Tuesday. I'd been tracking her for hours. No trail markers, no GPS pings, just broken brush, a few paw prints, and the distant hope that her pride hadn't moved too far. My drone had given me a vague direction, some movement near the North Ridge, but the signal was patchy. At some point, I stopped sweating. That's when you know it's serious. And then I heard it, a growl, low, protective. I froze. Through the grass, maybe 50 feet ahead, she was there. The lioness, still breathing, still bruised, and still very pregnant. She wasn't alone. The 2 males from before were nearby, flanking her like royal guards. They saw me. And Buddy, they didn't look thrilled, but I didn't flinch. "Easy," I whispered, stepping forward slowly, not here to start anything. The lioness didn't growl this time. She just stared, like she was trying to decide whether I was worth the trouble. And that's when I heard the truck. Rumbling, clanking, coming fast. Otieno. I ducked behind a rock just as the truck skidded into the clearing. 3 men jumped out. One held a rifle. The others had torches and sacks, probably baited with meat laced with something you don't put in cookbooks. They didn't see me, not yet. They saw the lions. "Stay sharp," Otieno snapped. "We end this now." This was it. The system in action. No permits, no relocation. Just bullets and fire. I couldn't let it happen. So I did the dumbest, loudest, most reckless thing I've ever done. I stood up. "Back off!" I shouted. "You're not killing them today!" Otieno's head snapped toward me like a hawk spotting prey. "You again!" He raised the rifle. "This doesn't concern you." "The hell it doesn't," I said, stepping out fully. "That lioness has done nothing but survive. She didn't attack. She didn't threaten. She's carrying cubs, for crying out loud. Cubs that'll grow up to kill our livestock. They'll grow up to run from you. You don't even give them a chance." Otieno motioned to the others. "Move in." And then, I swear on everything, the lions moved first. The bigger male stepped between me and the men, shoulders squared, head high. He didn't roar. He didn't charge. He just stood there, like a wall made of muscle and purpose. The other lion flanked the lioness, keeping her behind him, and together, the three of them formed a line between the humans and whatever came next. The men hesitated. Because here's the thing, lions don't do that. They don't guard humans. They don't organize like soldiers. But these did. Otieno lowered the rifle a fraction. "You think they're tame?" "No," I said. "I think they're smarter than all of us." Tense silence. Dust swirling. Finally, Otieno cursed under his breath and backed away. "You want to risk your life for beasts? Fine. But don't come crying when they turn on you." The truck peeled off, wheels kicking up gravel. I didn't move. Not until the sun started dipping. Not until I was sure they were gone. Only then did I glance back at the lioness. She was lying down now, breathing easier, safe, for the moment. And for the first time, she let out a sound, a soft rumble, not fear, not threat, recognition. Like she got it, like we weren't enemies, like I'd finally done something right. This was the moment it all came together. One man, one lioness, and a system too blind to see the line it almost crossed. Sometimes the wild isn't the problem. It's the people pretending to protect it.